If you are holding on to hope that we might still be able to rid ourselves of Ted Cruz, who you can see in this photo trying and failing to get a hug from literally anyone in his family, if we could bring that up, there is actually a chance, okay? Plan is in the works, and if it was passed, it would enable the Texas Legislature to recall a senator in the middle of the term. The interesting thing is that it's actually a Republican who's pushing for it. And so we're talking here about Representative Brian Harrison, a Republican of Texas, who filed a bill which proposes for either US Senator of Texas to be recalled by a simple majority in both chambers of the Texas Legislature. Under the bill, a senator would be required to leave office the same day as a successful recall vote. And he says it's because the rights given to the states and the people by the 10th Amendment have been significantly diminished since the adoption of the 17th Amendment. You know, the one that lets us choose our senators rather than just the elites of each state. And so his reasoning, kind of suspect, kind of anti-populist right there. It is interesting though, Yaz, because both of the senators are Republicans. And yet he's aiming to give the legislature the ability to easily throw them out of office. Now, obviously it wouldn't just stop Ted Cruz from being thrown out. Were a Democrat to ever win, this bill would allow them to be instantaneously thrown out. Doesn't matter what the people of Texas actually said. So let me be very clear. I don't support this. Even if it wouldn't have that effect on Democrats, I don't think that any state should have that power. I personally think, call me a weirdo, I think people should choose their senators. That's becoming more of a minority position in the modern era. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I always have to come on here and talk about Ted Cruz, and I hate it every time because look, we all knew that Ted Cruz, it was a long shot that Texas would elect a Democratic senator, right? We always knew that. But leading up to the election, the polling was neck and neck, right? It was literally tied all the way up until election day. So the fact that he won by as big of a margin as he did was like, the fact that he won is one thing, but the fact that he won by so much was very shocking for a lot of us to see. Just because there was nothing indicating that he would win by that much. He won by way more than he won against, or more than he beat Better or Work against, right? So this is not a solution. I don't like this proposed solution. I don't like the idea that Republicans think that it's okay to throw away what the voters have voted for. I don't like what the voters did, but it is what they decided, right? I have to live with that. I have to live with these people in this state, but it is what they decided. I don't think it's a good precedent to set that we're going to just start throwing away the votes. But this is the whole reason why we have the Electoral College in the first place, because even in a democracy, the elites thought that it wasn't okay to have all these regular old people just deciding these, making these big giant decisions for the American people. It wasn't good enough for them. So this kind of harkens back to that mentality. And, maybe there is some sympathy for that in the fact, especially in the aftermath of the election where you hear, all these interviews from people who voted for Trump under, with very strange assumptions as to what Trump was going to do for them. They had a lot of misunderstandings about what they were voting for, and that is distressing. But at the end of the day, I think it is more important to uphold democracy in the system that we have, what we have left of it, and go forward from there. So we have to deal with another 6 years of Ted Cruz, it would appear. Can't wait.
We do. The only thing I would say about this is I assume that if this were to pass, it's explicitly unconstitutional. I say that with some hesitation because, it's the Supreme Court that we have. I have no idea what they would say. It seems explicitly unconstitutional.
It is
obviously anti-democratic and anti-populist, but
No, it is funny though, because I've been saying this. Nobody likes Ted Cruz. His family doesn't like him. His dog doesn't like him. The other Republicans here in Texas do not like Ted Cruz. Some people will say they do just to stick it to the libs, but no, nobody likes Ted Cruz. So
doesn't seem like a popular man. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.